Okay, good. So basically, I would be approaching the trading view from the space of a beginner, like somebody who just got started with somebody who just got started in trading. So one thing you want to do is go to www.tradingview.com. I will not permit questions just in case you are lost at some point. I'll record this. It's actually recording. I'll put it on my YouTube channel so you can always check it out. So having done that, now this is what it will look like. I'm going to cancel this. This is what it will look like. You come to start free trial. You click on that. Basic. You click on basic for new traders and investors starting their journey. You click on basics. And then here we are. So I don't have an account. I want to create an account. Create an account. Username. Let's put Emmanuel Leads. Emmanuel Leads. And then the email address, Emmanuel Leads at gmail.com. Password. Good. So after that, I have read, I like to opt out for marketing emails. Yeah, I'm not a robot. Then create account. So I could go ahead and save this. Okay, now the account is not active yet. I have to verify the email. So I really run straight down to my email address, gmail.com. And this is just to put you to everything manually. Okay, it's good. So here we go. You can see trading view, confirm your email address. What do I do? Activate accounts. That's all. So I just confirmed my registration. Now you see it took me back to the platform. Choose a photo. I don't want to. Manual leads. Continue. Good. So here we are. Can everyone see this? I've signed in. I've signed in already. That's my account. The next thing I want to go straight to, I'm not concerned with all of this. I'm working with basic, right? I'm working with basic. I go straight to the chart. Now from the chart, what do we see? It's loading up. Okay, good. So this is how your chart would appear. Does everybody see this? This is how your chart would appear from the onset. So heads up, we moved watch list, column settings, and actions to this minute. Got it. I'm done. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to cancel. You see what I'm doing here? All of this symbols here, I'm going to cancel every one of them. Why? Because I don't need them yet. Good. Now everything is clear, right? Then the next thing I want to do is this is on daily. This is where you have the currency pair, the symbol. This is where you have the time frame. If it's a daily 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes time frame, that is where you get it from. This is the candles, depending on the kind of candles you want to use. We use candles, majorly we use candles. The indicators, this is where you add indicators to the screen. The free version allows you add, I think, up to about four indicators, right? So if you want to add a bankable strategy, this is through this indicators tab that you add that. I think that's basically all you need to do. You go ahead and cancel this advert. Good. And then the next thing you want to do is right click. Now just right click, you click on settings, right? So I just right click and I click on settings. What do I want to do here? Well, I want to change the color of these candles. I want to change the color of these candles. If I show you my normal trading view, this is not the color. I could go ahead and change it. So the symbol, this is the candle symbol, color bars on previous close. Now the body of the candle, the buying candle, the bullish candle, I want to activate it as blue, pure blue, right? Or green, as the case may be. Could identify it as green. Let's see the opacity. Good. I could use green or dark green, anyone, right? And then the next one is red. Good. So I have the first color I have is for the buying candle, which is the bullish candle, and then the red color is for the bearish candle, which is the sell candle. Now the borders, what are the borders? You see something? The borders are basically the body. Just make sure it's the same thing with the color, with the color of the body, right? Clicking on green now, the same thing. This red too is the same thing. The wick, I would love my wick to also have the same color, right? The wick, red. Last price line. What is last price line? Well, this is the price line. So if I change this to black, see what happens. It changed it to black. If I change it to white, see what happens. Change it to white. If I want to change it to, it could be yellow, you just change it to yellow. So this is just basically the settings you need to do. Afterwards, we post market. I don't think there's any other thing I do here. Status line, any other thing, no. Skills, leave that. Appearance, yeah, appearance, the background. The background could be solid. You want the background to be black. That's it. You can see that. So if you want the background to be black, fine. If you want it to be red, whatever, black or white. You could use white. I haven't done that. The vertical grid lines. Let me see. Okay, nothing really. I'm coming. Vertical grid line, horizontal grid line, section breaks. Yeah, I'd love to activate section breaks because section breaks informs me of when I'm coming. It's not allowing me to do section breaks. Okay, see, because it's not permitting me to do section breaks. I'm coming. It's been a while. The last time I did something like this was was in year 2019 when I was setting TradingView up. So let's see, we're learning together. So section breaks, it's not, and there have been so many updates on TradingView. There have been so many updates. So crosshair, yeah, crosshair. I could make my crosshair black. What's the crosshair? The crosshair is this. You see this thing that is moving? That's the crosshair, right? I won't call it the diaphragm. Most of us may not understand, but this is crosshair. You see, wherever I have the mouse on, there are these lines that are horizontal and vertical line meeting at a particular point. That's a crosshair. What else? Watermark. Okay. Watermark. Let's see. Black. Navigator buttons and all of that. Now, this is the watermark. The watermark is the name of the currency pair. So if I deactivate watermark now, you see, it takes it away from me. If I activate it, it puts it back there, right? What else? Let's see. I think we're done with that. Then trading, connecting lines, show positions. Basically, I think that's the basic stuff. That's the basic stuff you need to put on the chart. So having done that now, what I'll do is, you see all of these icons here. I'm going to go ahead and cancel every one of them. Let's see. I should be able to cancel it. Show dividends, no. Okay, good. Show splits, no. Show earnings, good. So I just canceled everything like that, right? This particular, what's it called? I've forgotten the name. There's this particular indicator beneath. I've literally forgotten. I'm going to remove it. I just removed it now. So my chart is clear, all nice and clear, right? Section breaks. If I activate section breaks, I just activated section breaks now. What section breaks? You tell me when the day the markets would close and when it would open. Let me see. Appearance. So exactly. So section breaks has been activated. If I turn it to black, 9. Why is it not showing? Let's see. Section breaks. Okay, don't worry. Just while we move on, while we proceed with we'll figure so many things out, right? Does everybody understand how I made this straight now? Now, I'm not concerned with AAPL. I don't even know what. Okay, sorry about that. A call came in, and I'm using my phone internet, right? So now this is it. Having done all of that, if you all understood how to set up your trading view up to this point, please put in a 5 on the chart. Put in a 5 on the chart. I'm not talking about the late comers. If you came in late, you're on your own. If you all understand how to set up a trading like from the scratch, put in a 5 on the chart. So it's simple. It's really as straightforward as that. You have your chart looking all nice and clean, right? So the next thing, I don't even know what AAPL is, right? So I'm going to take this to currency pairs. What are the currency pairs? Or Forex or all. So let's go look for USD excuse me, USD Yeah, this is USD. What did I do? Let me quickly go back there. You see this portion where I have AAPL. I clicked on it. And all I needed to do was on the symbol search, USD right? So having done that, what's the next thing? If I click on USD, the US dollar to the Japanese yen, this is Forex, FXCM. If I click on it, what happens? It updates this page as USD. So on my screen now, I have USD. Having done that, what's the next thing to do? I'll come to this watch list. The watch list is for you to be able to refer to a currency pair without having to search for it. So if I come to the watch list now and I click on plus, add symbol, right? It asks USD. Did you see that USD Forex FXCM? If I click on this, what happens? Just once it adds it up. Can everyone see? Can everyone see USD on the watch list now? So meaning that whenever I want to use USD I can always come to this watch list. Let's go get Euro USD. Euro USD, right? So this is Euro USD FXCM. I have to click on that. Good. This is Euro USD chart, the daily chart. If I click on my watch list now, Euro USD, Euro USD. I'll click on this plus, add to watch list. Can everyone see that? It's been added here now. So I have USD and Euro USD. This is what you do to add all currencies. If I click on USD it takes it straight to USD. If I click on Euro USD, it takes it straight to Euro USD. Does that make sense? We could go ahead and add Euro JPY, Euro JPY. This is Euro JPY. Click on it. It's up there. Then I add to the watch list Euro JPY. Euro JPY. I click on the plus. It has added it, right? Come here, look for AUD USD. Just currency pairs that you'll be working with, right? So this is AUD USD. Click on plus AUD USD. You understand? So I just added it now. So I have 4 currency pairs. If I want to click on AUD USD, Euro JPY, which other one do we use most of the time? Okay, Euro card. Without coming to the chart, you could also just click on watch list. Euro card, EURCAD. It showcases Euro card, FXCM. You click on plus. It adds it up. Let's see, it added it up. Has it updated it? No. Why? Because the trading viewer is still set to AUD USD. So to bring Euro card chart to the screen, what do? I click on Euro card. It updates it. Right? Does that make sense? Now, the next thing I want to explain to you is the time frames. The next tab that comes after the symbol search is the time frames. Here you have the daily time frame, the monthly time frame, the weekly time frame, the 4 hours time frame, the 3 hours time frame, the 1 hour, the 45 minutes, the 15 minutes, the 5 minutes. What does this time frame mean? I'll explain. On the daily time frame, what it means is that every of this candle represents each day. So I want every one of you to take note of this. Let me cancel what we have here. Don't like this. Hide events. Good. So I believe everyone can see the chat well. But I'm going to do something quickly. You see where I have this watch list tab, watch list and details. If I click on it, you see, it hides every information on here. So if I have to click on this, now all I want to see is I want to see the chart, right? Now this particular candle, if you go straight down, what do we have written down? Well, that is 12th of March 2021. Meanwhile, I want to emphasize, or I want to actually inform you that the trading view it works with a time. So the first thing you want to do is you want to synchronize the trading view time to your own excuse me, to your own country's time. If I click on time zone now, what happens? I'm looking for Lagos, Nigeria. Okay, good. So I have UTC plus one, Lagos. If I click on that, can everyone see that this is 11:28 a.m.? It's been synchronized with the time I have on my laptop, right? It's been synchronized with the time I have on my laptop. Which, sorry, just a moment, please. The call just came in. I'm actually having a Zoom thing now, please. Bobo, I'll get back to you, sir. Okay, good. Sorry about that. Yeah, so what I have here now is I have 12th of March 2021. What does it mean? It means this last red candle was what happened in Eagle card yesterday. So on the daily time frame, every of these candles represents the activity of the day. This candle represents 12th of March. The previous one represents 11th of March. The previous one represents 10th of March. The next one, 9th of March, 8th of March. And then what happens? There's a skip. 5th of March, the 5th of March. Why is that? Why do you think we have that skip? The reason is because TradingView does not operate 24/7. The foreign exchange market is open 24 hours, 5 days a week. So there's this skip between 5th of March to 8th of March. Why? 6 and 7 was actually a Saturday and a Sunday. Does that make sense? So you would see at intervals, there are skips in the market. This is 1st of March, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. Then there's a skip to 8th. If we move back, this is 1st. Look at the previous one, 26th of February. So there's a skip between 26th and 1st of March. The 2 days, 27th and 28th, if you go check your calendar out, they actually were Saturdays and Sundays, right? So on the daily time frame, you know what a currency pair is doing in that day or what it did in the previous day. So if I ask a question now, what did Eagle Card do yesterday? It sold. Why? Because we have a red candle. A red candle represents that Eagle Card sold yesterday. Now, if you take this to 4 hours, what does it mean? Well, the 4 hours means that every candle represents 4 hours. So this is 1900. That is 7 p.m. yesterday. The previous one will be 1500. Between 1500 and 1900, that's a 4-hour space, right? The previous one is 11 a.m. Between 11 a.m. and 1500 hours, that is a 4 hours time frame. Check the previous one. Between 7 a.m. and 11, between 700 hours and 1100 hours. Please don't mind me, I'm using military terms now. Between 700 hours and 1100 hours, that is a 4-hour time frame, right? So on 4 hours, you see this section breaks. These are the close of every day. If I check this, this is what? 1900, right? 1900 to 2300. That's the close of that day. The next one was what? 1900 again to 23, 1900 hours to 2300 hours. That's the close of another day. So all of these lines you can see. Do I call them horizontal line? No, this is vertical lines. All of these vertical lines you can see, they represent the close of the previous day. Okay, they represent every single day on the 4-hour time frame, right? So all of these candles here are 4 hours. If you take it down to the 1 hour, what happens? Every candle here is a 1-hour candle. So I want to say, how did you do what you did now? Well, this is it. It was kind of, okay, it was squeezed it was squeezed kind of. I needed a clear view of this. So what I did was came to this ruler, I enlarged it, moved it up, and then I dragged the screen up so I can have a better view of it, right? Now this is 2200 hours yesterday. This is 2100 hours, 2000 hours, 1900 hours, 1800 hours, 1700 hours. So on the 1 hour time frame, every candle here is represented at as the activities in the market per hour, right? On the 15 minutes, you narrow it down that way. On the 15 minutes, you now understand that this is what's happened in the last 15 minutes before the market close. You can see the time here, 22:45 hours. This is 10:45 p.m. yesterday. That was when the candle closed. That was when the market closed. If I bring it down together, see what I have here. The section breaks. This is what time is this? Everyone look at this is 11 p.m. 2300 hours. 11 p.m. on the 9th of March to 11 p.m. on the 10th of March. That's a day, right? 2300 p.m. 2300 hours on the 10th of March to 2300 hours on the 11th of March. That is another space of 1 day. So just get good at this. I believe everyone understand the time frames and what they mean. If you do, please put in a 7 on the chart. Put in a 7 on the chart if you understand everything with the time frame. Put in a 7 on the chart. That's it. It's not complicated, right? How do I change the time? Okay, I see so many people put in 7. How do I change the time? Well, I have 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 1 hour, 4 hours, 1 day. And you know the reason why it's important for you to go to the 1 day first is because you want to know what is happening on the larger time frame. So let me tell you what Forex is. What makes us earn money in the foreign exchange market is when we trade with the large financial institutions, right? The large financial institutions like the central banks, the commercial banks. So when you forecast that Eurocard is going to buy and it buys, you know what happens? The financial institutions have decided to buy Eurocard, majority of them. So you earn money in the foreign exchange market when you trade with the banks. How do I know what the banks are doing? Well, I have to come check their time frame. The banks don't trade 1 hour time frame with you. The banks don't trade 15 minutes time frame. They start with a daily time frame. So if you want to know what the banks are doing to a currency pair, go check what is happening on the daily time frame. Now on the daily time frame, I see Eurocard is selling. What does it mean? It means the banks are actually selling Eurocard. On a lower time frame like 15 minutes or 5 minutes or 1 hour, what do you think I should look for? I should look for opportunity to sell. Why? Because that is what the banks are doing on the higher time frame. If I go to a month now, let me take it a week. Okay, let's see what's happening in a week. Can everyone see this? So for the past 1 week, now on the weekly time frame now, what it means is that every of these candles are weak at what happened in the week. So you can see beginning from the 8th of March down to the 12th of March, which was yesterday. What happened on the weekly? Eurocard has been selling. It's been selling seriously, right? It's been selling. If I go to the month, let's see what's happening on the month. Can everyone see this? What's happening in the whole of, okay, beginning from the 1st of March up to this moment, Eurocard has been selling. So this gives me an overview that this is what the banks, international companies, this is what they've been doing with Eurocard. They've been selling Eurocard from the very first day of March. Does everybody understand that? So when we talk about top-down analysis, we're basically saying that you go into the market, you check what is happening on the higher time frame. You should not trade based on what is happening. Okay, this is it. You know what is happening in a currency pair to the bigger time frames, the larger time frames, like the daily time frame, the weekly time frame, the 4 hours time frame. You know what is happening based on those time frames. But you only look for opportunities on lower time frames because you can't trade the daily time frame with the banks. You don't have that kind of money. You don't have that equity. Do you understand? So all you do is just look at what is happening on the daily time frame. You have an idea of what that currency did the previous day, or what it's doing as at that particular day. And then you now take it down to 1 hour. You see what is happening on 1 hour. You can take it down to the 15 minutes and then the 5 minutes. So let's go into analysis now, right? So I'm going to go back to one day to see what's happening on one day on the Euro card. Now, you would have seen my previous sections on YouTube. The debut section I had with the team, I basically explained how I identify my support and resistance. But everybody look here. We have, see, do not complicate this thing. I understand most of the time the issue is how do I identify support and resistance? We're looking at this with your naked eye. This is it. I would identify reversal zones and you would see what I'm talking about. At this point, so I want to start from this point, right? Just a moment. I want to start from this point. Okay, let me do something here. Good. So this is our area of concentration, right? I'm going to leave it like that. Exactly. I could make this kind of light, you know. Okay, good. So that's our area of concentration. We're only concerned with whatever thing is happening within this box. Are we correct? Anything that happened before, I'm not concerned. Anything that happens after, I'm not concerned. Now, within this box, I'm going to identify reversal zones. See, don't complicate the word. Let's just leave it at reversal zones. What do I mean by reversal zones? Certain positions or certain points where market got to and then reversed. Look at this green candle. The green candle shows a buy. When it got to that upside, what happened? It reversed. I just identified that zone. I don't want to identify it with this tool. I'm looking for a great tool to identify it with. I'm coming. Um, let's see. Because I want everyone to fully understand this such that even when you get back to it, you will be able to, at least it will be self-explanatory. So I'm coming, I'm looking for a nice tool to show. Okay, let me use this arrow. Let me use the arrows. Arrow mark down. Okay, good. Can everyone see this? Green candle went up, red candle followed. What happened there? Well, that's a reversal. Does everybody agree with that? That particular point, price was going up, and when it got there, what happened? It started coming down. That's a reversal. Another point to note is this. Okay, now this is, sorry, I forgot to explain this. This is where you have the tools. You have the tools here. Depending on the tool you want to use, you just search for it. If you use a tool that is not the right thing, you can always delete it, right? So I'm using the arrow mark down, and there'll be no need for me to come back to this tool again as far as I want to use the arrow mark down, because I've activated the stay in drawing mode. So if I activate this now, it means as long as I'm still on this chart, whatever thing I draw, you can see it's just going to put in, it's going to put in the arrow without having to come back here. Let me see, I have to delete all of this. Mr. Efe, please help me add people to the, okay, how many people do we have on? Okay. Okay, great. So now here we have a reversal, right? You see that reversal, and then let's look for an up arrow. Okay, let's just mark out reversals to the downside. This is another reversal. Does everybody agree with me here? This is another reversal. Green candle came up, red candle came. The green candle was going up, the red candle brought it down. That is a reversal. This is a reversal as well. This is a reversal. 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 I'm just marking everything randomly. This is a reversal. This is another one. This is another one. Another one here. another one here, another one here, another one here, another one here. We have one here again. Then we have another one here. I did not mark everything, but I just did this so you could see what we call reversal zones, right? We see what we call reversal zones. Literally, Control Z. So I've marked everything up just so you could see. Now I want to go ahead and then just a moment. I want to go ahead and mark it up with the horizontal line. Good. So I'm coming to this tool. I'll click on horizontal line. Now what do I want to do? The level at which the green candle and red candle are parallel to each other, I mark that out. I'm going to paint this as a black line, a black thick line. Good. Right? I marked it based on what happened here. Eclipse. I marked it based, paint this as yellow, then paint this as black, then paint this as yellow. Good. Can everybody see that? I marked it there. That horizontal line was based on what happened there. So let's go back. Another place I would love to mark is this. Green candle came up, the red candle came down. So I'm going to pick up my horizontal line again and mark it here again. Boom. I marked it based on what happened at this area. I'm not seeing what is happening at the front. I'm just marking it based on these areas I'm using the eclipse tool on, right? Let's see another. Now at this point, green candle came up, red candle came down. I'm going to mark this, but are they parallel to each other? No, they are not parallel to each other. Why are they not parallel to each other? I can tell you there was a skip in this market. The previous candle, this green candle, shows the 6th of November. The next candle that came up was the 9th of November. So that was a weekend. That's why they are not parallel to each other. I'm only after candles that are parallel to each other, right? What do we have here? Excuse me, we have a red and green candle that are parallel to each other here. I mark that out based on what happened at this spot. Does everybody see that? Right? Let's go ahead and mark other zones, more zones. Now we could go ahead and also mark the support, the floor. So I see a red candle coming down here and a green candle took it off. That's a parallel zone. We're going to identify it here. One. This is also, okay, good. This is also a parallel zone. Who's this? My apologies about that. A call came in. So this is another zone I'm going to mark here. A red and green. Yeah. The color of the support line. Okay, you want me to identify not really, guys. Let's just identify all of these ones. I'm taking cognizance of time. If I choose to give a detailed training on this, we might not we might not leave here today, right? So I just want to give you a quick overview so you can just keep practicing on your own. So I marked it based on what happened at this place. Now, based on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, let's just work with those 5 zones I've marked. Do you all see that marking this zone here as a resistance, right? Let's say you marked it when this trade was just within this area. Do you all see how price reacts to, let's see, do you all see how price reacted to that zone at this point? I'm going to mark that out. At this point, see, this point. So market went up here, it came down. I marked it here, not knowing what was happening, what was going to happen in the future. But do you see how price, in fact, at this point again, it actually reacted. It reacted a bit to the zone here. It reacted a bit to the zone here, right? And it also reacted to the zone here. How do I know that? Well, what I see is I see green candle trying to go up to that zone. And then they touched that zone, and what happened? The red candle brought it back. So a resistance zone I marked just one, plays out even in the future, see, any support zone that you mark now or any resistance zone that you mark now would play out as either a support or resistance zone in the future. So a support and resistance zone as at today would play out as a support or resistance zone in the future, because they are not just, we don't just call them resistance zones, we call them resistance zones, we call them support zones, because these are areas where the banks would have put in certain amount of money to make a trade go the other way. The banks don't trade every minute the way we trade. Like I said, what the banks do is the banks want to think about shorting euro. When I say short, I'm talking about sell. Now, the banks want to think about shorting euro card. They just put in a large amount of money at a particular price. So when the market gets there, the market will react because there's a large amount of money at that point. Now, those points are what we identify as resistance and support zones. A practical analogy, let me quickly give a scenario. So let's say, for instance, we have we have now, this is just analogy. Let's say we have GT Bank and Access Bank. They want to buy Euro card, right? Euro card, and they put in about $50 million to buy from this spot, right? So their $50 million keeps pushing Euro card up, 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 up. How much did they put in? $50 million, right? And then why they did that, which other bank is there? Zenith Bank and UBA decided to put in $85 million, $85 million to short Eurocard. When I say short, I mean sell, to sell Eurocard, and then they put in their money at this point. I'm talking about Zenith and UBA now. Now, $50 million is not up to $85 million. What do you think the market will do when it gets to this place? Because of the volume of that money, it would force it down, it would come down. Why? Because $85 million is more than $50 million. That is what happens in the market. That is what happens. The market does not respect anybody analysis. What the market respects is volume. The amount of money placed in a currency pair at a particular time to do a particular thing is what determines where the market will go. So this chart, these candles you're seeing here are basically showing you the volume that has been put into Euro card at a particular time. You cannot see the actual volume, but with this, you know what the big players, when we say the big players, the banks, you know what the banks, you know what the financial institutions are doing with the currency pair. So I marked it at this point now, but do you see how it plays out on this at this point? Right? Now look at the second one. I'm going to color that second one as blue. Let's see. At a blue line. Let me see. Okay, good. Now this second one, green candle went up, red candle brought it down. So I'm going to change that to a blue candle. I want us to go to it. Okay, no, sorry. I'm going to change this to a blue. Good. So you can see that blue candle, that blue arrow, right? I marked it at this point. Do you all see how it plays out here too? Look at how it played out here. Sorry. Look at how it played out here at this point. Can everybody see that? So what I marked there, did it play out here or not? It did play out. And you see how market reacted to the previous zone I drew. In fact, it was that zone it reacted to, not even this top one. Right? Can everybody see that? It reacted. And not just that, it did not just react there only. It even reacted at this point as a support. So what was formerly a resistance here, do you see how it eventually became a support here? Let me get an up arrow. Do you see how it eventually became a support here? Does everybody see that? It was a resistance here. Price broke to, it came down, but what happened? It still respected that zone and it started going up again. So it still respected the zone here, right? It respected the zone here, and then it respected the zone even at this point, because here we see how candles were trying to go up, but the red candle brought it down. So that's with the blue line. That's the second area we identified. Now look at the third one. I'm going to paint this third one as a yellow arrow. Good. I'm going to paint that as a yellow arrow. So let's see, yellow. Good. So we have a yellow arrow there. I marked it at that point. Now let's see where it reacted. It reacted here, right? And it reacted here. In fact, it even reacted here. I'm going to take that as down arrow. You see how it reacted here too? Yellow. Does anybody see this? I don't know. Do you people see how exciting this thing is? So I marked this zone just based on what was happening here, but do you see how it played out here? It's so evident, right? It played out here, it played out here, and then it also played out here. It played out here as a resistance. It was a support here, here, and here. But eventually, what happened? It became a resistance here. Are you all getting all what I'm saying now? Do you understand how I'm breaking this thing down? Right? If you do, put in a 5 on the chat. I want to be sure everybody's with me. I want to be sure everyone is with me. But this is just on the daily time frame. So you get good at doing this. You up your game. Right? Remember, I said our area of concentration is between this squared line. Right? This rectangle line. I told you we're not going beyond this purple area. It's as simple as that. So let's go identify the fourth zone. Let's go identify the fourth zone with, okay, so this is it. Now we identified this place as, I have 1, 2, the red was the first one I identified, the blue was the second one, the yellow was the third one. Let's identify the fourth one now. I have an up arrow here. I'm going to paint this as a black. Good. I'm going to paint this as a black. Let's see. Oh, no, sorry. Good. As a black. Good. So I have a black. That's the fourth zone I identified. Now, let's see where these zones played out. It played out here. Hello. It also played out here. 2. It didn't really play out here, but it played out here as a resistance. It played out here as a resistance. So I'm going to mark that as, okay, it played out here as a resistance. Everyone can see this. I'm going to change that to black. It also played out here as a resistance, right? Can we go ahead and then just put in the eclipse? This is the eclipse. 1, 2, 3 as a resistance here, and then 4 as a support. Can I tell you something? It even played, see, it's played out at this point because the red candle came down, the green candle went up. Yeah, the red candle brought it down. The green candle went up again, right? The red candle brought it down. So even in the whole of these zones, everything here, it's played out. And I'm going to put in a good. Right? Does it make sense? 1, 2, 3, 4. Did you mark any other zone again? No. But if I go to the past, I tell you every of these zones I mark would have been a support or resistance in the past. Let's look at something. So you remember all of these black lines are the zones I marked without looking at what happened in the past, right? Look at this now. So I'm just going to put in eclipse. Do we see how it plays out here? Look at this black line. Green candle went up there, red candle brought it down. Look at all of these zones. Sheesh. Look at this. Green candle was going there, red candle was bringing it down. Green candle went there, red candle went. That's reversal, right? Look at this here. Look at those wicks. Green candle went up, red candle brought it down. That's a zone, right? Look at this here. Everyone, look at this. Look at these zones here. These are the black lines I drew as support and resistance. But do you see how they are playing out even in the past? What does that tell you? If you had marked all of this in the past, it will play out in the future. That is how you identify support and resistance zones. That is how you identify support and resistance zones, right? See, I want to say something. I got a question on the chat. Somebody says, why coming down as a resistance? Why coming down as a resistance? Okay. Well, this is the only question I would answer. And please, going forward, I want to entertain questions. You see, I learned from a guy called Christopher Derrick. And whenever Christopher Derrick is teaching, he does not give answers to questions. Why? Because he feels that the question you're even asking, if only you could keep looking at what is going on, that question could be answered. Right? So it's not about the question. Now I'm going to answer this question, but going forward, please, nobody should ask a question on the chat. Right? I'm training the way I learned it. If you look at it and you study it well, I might have answered most of your questions, or I may be answering most of your questions going forward. Right? So why coming down as a resistance? Where are you at the moment? Are you sitting or you are standing up? When you look up, what do you have above you? You have a ceiling, I guess. Either you have a decking or you have a ceiling above you. If you jump up, what happens? Does that decking or ceiling will act as a resistance because it will bring you down? That's why coming down is a resistance and going up is a support. So whatever you're standing up now, whatever you're standing on now, or whatever you're sitting on now is a support. When you jump up and your head hits the ceiling, what do you call that ceiling? It's a resistance. So support is floor, resistance is ceiling. Let's go ahead. So having done all of this, I could keep going to the past and I can tell you it will keep playing on, right? So this is one way you could be good at identifying support and resistance. Just this is a journey. I've been here for a year and 8 months. I didn't beat myself over it for not learning this within my first few days. No, within my first few months. I see people who are just getting into this place less than 6 months, they are complaining already. You're complaining about what? What are you complaining about? So they're going into HFX. I just wanted to break this. Now going into HFX, how do I utilize this on HFX? It's simple. This is it. So this is what I do on HFX to identify support and resistance. Good. Like I said in previous training, I pick up my resistance, my horizontal line. This is what happened yesterday. So let's say, for instance, market will be opening on Monday. I'm just going to mark this down. What do? You see the highest point of the candle that played out yesterday, I'll mark it out. I'm going to paint that as a red color. Why? Because that's a resistance zone. That's the highest it got to. And then I'll mark this. I'll mark the lowest point, not the lowest point of the body, the lowest point of the week, because this week represents that price got to this point, but for some reasons went back up. So I'm marking the lowest point price got to. I'm taking that as a green because that's a resistance. That's a support, rather a floor, right? Good. Having done that now, I take this straight to 1 hour. What do we see in 1 hour, ladies and gentlemen? Well, we see how price. Okay, good. This thing is lovely. Okay, now you see how the previous day, not yesterday now, on Thursday, you see how the previous day, how price was acting to what I drew on the daily time frame. Can you all see this? Look at this. One, it acted there because price wanted to go below that point, but the green candle kept pushing it up until eventually it broke that point. And then even look at yesterday, what happened there? It still respected this zone here. So I believe everyone can, let me put in an arrow on that. I believe everyone can see this. We have something happened here, right? And something happened here. Something happened. I'm going to bring this one here. Something happened here. And then change this one to up arrow. And then something happened here. Can everyone see this? Did I mark it on the 1 hour? No. I marked it on the daily. But how come? Why is it reacting on the 1 hour? Because that is what price does. Price will respect whatever happened. Price will respect support and resistance zones on the daily time frame, on the 1 hour time frame, on the 15 minutes time frame, on the 5 minutes time frame. So I marked on the 1 hour, I marked on the daily time frame. On the 1 hour, I can see it play out. Look at this zone I marked on the on the daily time frame. Is it playing out here or not? It is. Why? Red candle brought it down, but what happened? The green candle is still forcing it up there. Boom. That's another one. So now let's mark the zones on the 1 hour. We only mark on the daily, right? Let's mark on the 1 hour. This is a zone on 1 hour. How do I know that? I see green candle wanted to go up, red candle brought it down. If I click on this and I mark it out this way, boom, I'm going to paint that as red. Why? Because it's a resistance zone. Price was trying to go up, but forced it down. Right? Simple as that. I could also go ahead and mark this zone. Let me take this one off. Let me take this one off. Good. I could also go ahead and mark. You see this red candle, this green candle wanted to go up, red candle brought it down. I could go ahead and also mark this one as a zone. Why? The green candle wanted to push it up, but you see the way the red candle brought it down again. So I've marked zones on the 1 hour. You know what I would suggest we do? Can we make this red line? Looking for the best thing to do. I want us to be able to identify the zones that we marked on the daily down to the 1 hour. Okay, good. So this is what I'll do. I'll mark the daily zones as red. The daily zones, both support and resistance, I'm going to mark it as red. And then the 1 hour zones, I'm going to mark it as green. Right? I'm going to mark the 1 hour, both support and resistance, I'm going to mark it as green. Now let's go forward into the 15 minutes. Everyone look here. The 15 minutes now, what do we see? You see how it still plays out on the 15 minutes, right? Now look at what happened there. What I marked on the 1 hour, did it play out on the 15 minutes here? Yes, it did. Right? Yes, it did. Even look at it here. Did it still play out? Yes, it did. So how do we mark the 15 minutes now? Simple. Look for 15 minutes. Where did price go up and come down? This point. It went up. I'm going to mark the 15 minutes zones as a purple line. Good. You see how price reacted here? It reacted here, right? And also reacted here. Also reacted here. Am I correct? Does everybody see that? I think that's the only visible thing I can mark. Okay, I can also mark this, but I see an area where price was trying to go up. The red candle brought it down at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and mark this as 15 minutes, right? See this. This is how you identify support and resistance when you want to trade HFX. The other one I taught you about is when you want to trade FRS, that's what you do. But on HFX now, this is a fast means of identifying it. So you all can see how it plays out. Remember, the red lines are what we marked on the daily time frame. The green are what we marked on the hour. The purple are what we marked on the 15 minutes. So let's go straight into the 5 minutes. Boom. You see how even 5 minutes, do you all see how 5 minutes reacts to both 15 minutes and the daily time frame? See, look at what is happening here, right? Look at what happened here. Look at what happened here. Look at what happened here. Red candle brought it down. Let me make it see. Red candle brought it down. Green candle took it up, right? Red candle brought it down to the daily time frame. Do you see how it went up back? Still reacting. So let's go ahead and mark 5 minutes zones. And this is a zone on 5 minutes. This is a zone on 5 minutes. Parallel. What color should we mark 5 minutes as? Let's do it as yellow. 5 minutes yellow. This is another zone, 5 minutes yellow. Okay. Another one, 5 minutes, boom. This is another one, 5 minutes, boom. Another 5 minutes. Yeah. Right. This is another one. Hmm. So let's mark. This is another one here. Okay. You all see how this last one I do. See how it plays out here and here. I think that yellow color is making it to sheesh, I don't like this color. Okay, let me see. Let's change it to black. Good. Let's change it to black. 5 minutes was for black. Go back. I'll put this on my YouTube channel. Go back, watch it over and over again, and then just keep playing around with it. You get good at it. And once you get good at it, it stays. What I'm teaching you now is what I've known since 2019. Can anybody take it away from me? Absolutely not. All right, so this is it. Let's go ahead and mark it. I see green candle trying to come up here. The red candle brought it down. That's why I marked that zone. I see another green candle trying to come up here. See another green candle trying to come up here. Red candle brought it down. Boom. I see another one here. Red candle brought it down. Boom. I see another one here. Red candle brought it down. Boom. I see a zone here. I see another one here. I see a zone here. I see another one here. Does this make sense? Everyone, what I've been doing so far, does it make sense? Be sincere with me, does it make sense? One at 500. Somebody say one at 500. Put in a yes or no on the chat if it makes sense. Where's 500? At 507. I love that. Thank you so much. That's a great one. At 507. Yeah. Yeah, that's smart of you. I'm excited. I understand. That's at 504. Yes. I see a green candle trying to go up and then the red candle brought it down. Yeah, absolutely. Does it make sense, everyone? It makes sense, right? Identify it that way, right? Identify it that way. You get good at this thing by practicing. So after this section, what should you do? Well, go for brunch. Take brunch and then get back to it. I remember scheduling this call for 40 minutes, but I just felt like um it's better to just put in the whole energy and then get this thing done. I'm done with Euro card. Okay, sorry. You could go ahead and pick up USDJPY, mark it up, mark it up. If you can screen munch your laptop screen, screen munch it and send it to me. Let me get feedbacks from you. Just show me what you've done today. Before the end of the day, send it to me on WhatsApp as an image. Let me see it. That way you would learn, right? So if you have to go ahead and then activate the Evan Kaba strategy, how do I activate that? Evan Kaba binary strategy 2. Boom. I just did that once. Everyone look here. You see, what makes trading fun for you is when there are so many things adding up for your confirmation. Please, I want everybody to look here carefully. I did not do a Vancouver strategy, right? But look at this. The first green, okay, let me see. Where was the first? Okay, with the red line. See the red line with you at the top, the utmost top, right? Did it play out on a Vancouver strategy? Can you see red resistance zones on a Vancouver indicator? What does that mean? Sheesh. Sorry, just a minute. Just a minute, please. Okay, sorry. I have to tell my younger one to turn on the gen. So this is it. You see how you see how it plays out, right? Even look at this purple line. I think the purple line was for which time frame? Can somebody remind me? The purple line was, I think it was for 15 minutes. Am I correct? Yeah, 15 minutes. Do you see how it plays out with the blue, 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 blue? See the blue, blue Evancaba support, and it was blue, blue, blue here. But what happened here? It became red, red, red. So remember, I told you from the onset that every support line or every support area or resistance area in the past would become a support or resistance in the future. So it was a support at this point. But when it got to what happened, it became resistance. Going forward, what do we see? Look at the green lines we drew here, right? Even though the red the resistance zones is way above it, but I'll still show you. Let me see. Okay, okay, it didn't get there, but hold on. I want to validate. You see this green line I drew here? I want to validate it. So let's go to the past. Remember the green line was what we picked on 1 hour. Okay, no, this is even 5 minutes chart. So if our cover strategy is playing on 5 minutes, if I have to take it to 1 hour, you see. Okay, good. My system is charging. Let me see. Okay, well, Evan Kaba is not giving me an indicator on 1 hour. Oh, really? So on 15 minutes, let's see. Okay, good. Now the green line. The green line. I want to validate that green line. Looks like okay on the green line here you can see this red, they are a bit close to it, right? They're a bit close to it, but that's okay. Let's take it back to the 5 minutes and validate other lines. I'm going to enlarge this. Now look at this. That's with the green line. The purple line, do you see how it validates it here? Blue. The blue support, the blue support, the red resistance. Look at this one I do. This black on 5 minutes. Do you see how it okay, now everyone look at look at this particular zones we validated on the 5 minutes. Did you see this black line we do here? Did it validate with the red, with the resistance line of Evankaba? Yes, it did. Look at the next one. Did it validate? Let me move that blue line away for you. Can you see it? It validated, right? It did. This one validated with the blue line, even though it's not on the spot, but it's close. Look at it here. It even validated it here as a resistance, right? It did. It did. It would always do that. Why? It's automatic. But what I've done before now was the manual. So if I have to do the manual now and then the automatic validates it, what do you think happens? My confidence increase. My confidence increases in the market. So when I'm to trade this with the cash trap strategy now, what do you think would happen? I know that because I identified this thing on the TradingView platform on my own, when market gets there, it would react. The problem is not with the strategy. The problem is your confidence. Even when the strategy tells you that okay, the strategy tells you that this thing is going to go down here, you're having a problem with your confidence because you're like, are you sure it will go down or it will not go down? If I put money here, are you sure I'll win it or I'll lose it? That's it. But now you've done this thing on your own. So when cash trap tells you that I cannot use the cash trap now because the cash trap does not operate on weekends, right? Well, I'll think about how I could set up something like this for Monday or Tuesday. My weekdays are always kind of very very tight. So I'll look for a way around it, right? But this is it. If cash trap gives me an arrow at any of these resistance zones or support zones that I've marked, and then Evan Cabral strategy validates it too, and currency strength is in line, there are some trades you will take. You immediately you take them. Do you know what you do? You just stand up from your seat and you go and do something else. Why? Because you know. We are not saying we win all of them, but because you know that 90% of the time that trade will become a win. Does that give you enough reason to over leverage? No. See, let me tell you what happens with over leveraging. When you over leverage, you've changed your mindset. When you change your mindset, you've made a mistake. You just don't know. For those of us that have over leveraged and you feel that this thing is over, if only you take your time to see whether you made a mistake or not, you notice that you made one silly mistake. You are now wondering why you made that mistake. But the truth is, in the process of making that mistake, you didn't know you were making a mistake because your mindset was different. Your mindset was to cheat. Your mindset was to be greedy with the market. Right? That's why we say do not over leverage. The moment you over leverage, you've made a mistake already. And that mistake will lead to other mistakes. I tried over leveraging once. Just I've blown accounts, but I tell you something, I've not blown any account based on over leverage. I've been very disciplined before I even came into the space of forex. My late dad, that man taught me how to be disciplined, right? So I've been very, very disciplined. When I heard about okay over leverage, I tried it once, and I tried it once because I wanted to just have the experience. You all see that's crazy, right? I've been seeing people talk about blow account. In fact, I tried it once. I did not blow account based on over leveraging. I never blew any account based on over leveraging. Think the total number of accounts I've blown so far as regards forex that I've blown so far, I think it's just three $100 accounts. $100, and it was not over leveraging. I never over leveraged. A space of 1 year and 8 months, I have never over leveraged. The only time I did it on purpose because I wanted to see, I wanted to know how it feels like. What did I do? I did cash price trap, right? I think it was Euro USD. Yes, I identified support and resistance zone. Price did a break and a retest, and then I entered the trade with $30 out of $100 in my account, and I lose that trade. Now, after losing the trade, do you know what I did? I went back to that analysis and I figured out that the point where I entered the market, I was not supposed. In fact, I started beating up myself like, what were you thinking of? Why would you enter this trade at this point? This is not the right point for you. But you know one thing I figured out, because the mindset was a different one. I was not able to do the right thing. You can't have the mindset of doing a wrong thing and then do right things. No. So that you have now, you've increased your confidence with all of these zones now, doesn't mean you should go into the market and take a trade with with 20% of your account. Doesn't make any sense, because this is it. No matter how good you are in doing this analysis, you still make a mistake. Has anybody blown their account and you agree with what I'm saying? You will make a mistake. When you go back to it, you now see and be like, how did I enter into this state at this point? How? What did I do? At what point can one enter the market for buy or sell? Mr. Benjamin, for resistance, you sell the market at resistance, right? You buy the market at support, right? These are things you also join together with the cash trap point system. The cash trap point system. I cannot use cash trap now. I cannot tell you, okay, this is it. Where do I buy this market? Yeah. Where do I sell this market? Well, I sell at the resistance. Where is the resistance? The red short lines. And I buy at the blue short lines. The blue short lines identifies the support. The red short lines identify the resistance. I think I answered your question, sir. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hopefully this was just to teach you how to identify support and resistance. Like I said, that's what this training is based on. Support and resistance. You know support and resistance. I promise you, you know a lot already. So just one, I'm going to end this call in 9 minutes. Just one example. I want to use a new currency pair. So USDJPY. I'm going to cancel the Bankaba strategy, take it to 1 day. Boom. Take my route and then bring this down. So this is what is happening on USDJPY 1 day. What do? We mark the top. Boom. I'm going to paint that as red. Then you mark the resistance. Where's the resistance? The lowest point on that candle. I can see it there. I'm going to take that to a green. 1 hour straight up. Now what happens? Do you see how price reacts on 1 hour, even on the daily, on the 1 hour time frame, right? Remember, this vertical line we have here tells you that this is the beginning of the day. So I'm only concerned with I'm only concerned with what is happening within this space from year to year. That's what I'm concerned with. Good. I'm only concerned with this. It's what's happening within this space, right? So let me mark on 1 hour. I see red candle brought it down here, green candle took it up. I see resistance here, mark it as red. Why? Green candle went up, red candle brought it down. Green candle went up, red candle brought it down again. Even at this point, I see another resistance. I see a support here, red candle brought it down, but the green candle took it up. Right? And then I see another. I cannot identify this as a support. Why? Because this candle is still in progress. This candle could eventually end as a red. Right? But because of what happened, because the market is closed now, I can pick that up. So I've marked the 1 hour time frame. Now let's go straight to the 15 minutes. So that's 30 minutes. 15 minutes. Good. On 15 minutes, what do we have here? Do you see how markets respect the zones we do on 1 hour and on the daily time frame, even on 15 minutes? So how do I identify 15 minutes now? Good. I look for areas like this is what is happening on 15 minutes. There's no area to even mark out on 15 minutes because the last area I already marked it out on the 1 hour. Right. So this is what is happening at the moment now. Is there anything to mark in between that zone? Let's see. Yeah, we have few things here. So this is a support. Red candle came down, green candle took it up, and then this is a resistance. Really very close. Just make that as red. Somebody say, somebody say I made somebody say I made mistake in the mark of 1 hour point 705. Okay. Mm-hmm. I made mistake in the mark of 705 areas. We'll look at it together. I made mistake, Abi. I made mistake in this mark of 705. Mr. Sam, I'm going to unmute your mic now, and then you tell me the mistake I made. This is why I say do not look out for questions and answers. You see, the one we are supposed to use to move forward now, we use it to attend to this. This is it. Where is the mistake I made here, sir? 705. I marked it on what? Let me see your question. Let me see what you told me on the chat again. You say of 1 hour point, 705. So I'm going to go to the 1 hour point, 1 hour. 705. Did I make any mistake here? Mr. Sammy, by yourself, you answer again. Did I make any mistake here? I'm going to mark this out. Did I make any mistake here? How on earth do you tell a lecturer that I made mistake? I don't understand. How on earth do you tell a lecturer that I made a mistake? Mr. Sammy, answer on the chat. Did I make any mistake here? Please answer. Answer, just yes or no. Do you see any mistake I made here? Now you agree to your mistake, right? You don't tell you don't tell a lecturer that I made mistake. He will drive you out of the class. I cannot drive you out of this class, but don't do that next time, right? So that is it. Let's go back to 15 minutes. Please, no more questions. Please, I don't want any questions again. The time we used to attend to questions would have been used to do so many things. Sheesh. Oh, so just a moment, please. Okay, good. We're back. So, 15 minutes. Christopher Derrick does not listen to anybody's question. That guy will tell you just open your eyes and see and learn. So this is it. On 5 minutes now, what do we have here? Does everybody see how all of these things are playing out even on the 5 minutes time frame? Is there any, am I supposed to mark any zone on 5 minutes? All of them are marked already because of what I do on the daily, the 1 hour and the 15 minutes. So if I have to go ahead and mark Evan Kaba and add Evan Kaba strategy, Evan Kaba. Does everybody see how this plays out? Look at the red lines I do. You see how it validates with Evan Kaba, red lines. You see the blue lines. You see how it validates with the blue lines. This is it. This is it. I could win this one, narrow it down, and then start looking out for all the green lines I do. This is a zone here. It validated this one. See this green line I do here. The red line validated it here. The blue line validated it here. Look at this ones I do up here. The blue lines validated it. The red line. So please tell me why cash tap will now point an arrow, and then I'll wait for market to get to that resistance, and I won't take it confidently. There's nothing wrong with the strategy. Something is wrong with your confidence. It's your confidence that does not make you go into the market and take trades. Even if it's going to be a lesson, at least you did. Right? But now when you mark it on your own and then you now bring in the Vancouver strategy, boom, it answers it all. Right? So did we all get value from the score? Everyone, did you all get value from the score? If you did, put in value on the chart. Right? Hopefully it was worth your time. For anyone who is going to see this on YouTube, just reach out to me, send an email address to emmanuelleads@gmail.com. I'll definitely reply your response, you reply your mail. And oh, I see value, awesome, 5555 value. I'm glad I was able to help. So just gain mastery at this, practice it, and see, whenever you make a mistake, I want you to see an affirmation. Whenever you make a mistake, declare an affirmation. I am getting better and better every day in trading the foreign exchange market independently. You say it. I am getting better and better every day in mastering the skill of trading the foreign exchange market independently. Right? Keep saying it. Keep saying it. It's affirmation. Keep saying it. This thing did not come. It did not come from above. We learnt it here. No, Mr. Adebayo, the email address is not for you. I'm saying anybody is going to see this on YouTube eventually, and they want to be part of the system of Higher Master Academy that works. Just send in a mail to emmanuelleads@gmail.com. I'll reach out to you and then we'll put you up on the system. So, Mr. Deba, it's not for you. You're a partner already. Right? So, would you get this within the first 2 or 3 days? Yes, or maybe no. But guess what? You should key into what will sustain you in learning this. So somebody will say Emmanuel would never finish his call with talk of 2 and 3. Yes, go 2 and 3 so that you can lengthen the number of days you would have to learn and earn using this platform. I've been here for a year and 8 months now. If I didn't go 2 and 3 as when I was supposed to go 2 and 3, I would have quit. And if I quit, would I be able to teach what I'm teaching now? No. You don't want to build the business. Well, that's on you. Don't build it. But at least go 2 and 3. Go 2 and 3, because going 2 and 3 now is not just because you want them to give you 3 month scholarship. You want to also be able to duplicate what I just did to you. So you should think about having individuals that get connected on this platform to you, such that you can actually teach them what I taught you, because you learn more when you teach. Majority of you on the call, you think I've done you favor by doing this teaching, but the basic truth is I've done myself more favor because I've acquired more knowledge again. That's what happens when you teach. So it's not about you just knowing it. No. If it to be about that, Mr. Kevin is not supposed to be teaching. I'm not supposed to be teaching. I bet you learn more when you teach. Who would you teach? Get those two people, right? And let's get you and let's get you to the rank of educators, where you start educating people on how to make money trading in foreign exchange market. So I want to appreciate each and every one of you. It's been a wonderful. We started at what time? 11 a.m. It's been a wonderful 1 hour 30 minutes with each and every one of you. Right? Just do the needful. Study this weekend. We have an 8 p.m. call, post-fed presentation call. Get 2 of your folks, 3 of your folks to see the information. Put them on a 3-way call, and then let's just do the needful, right? Yeah, God bless you too, man. Thank you so much. See, people have started warming. I'm not bothered. All right, so you all have a lovely weekend ahead. Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Samuel. I do appreciate. You all have a lovely weekend, and I'll see you at the other side of success. Bye for now.